So we adopt a way of sitting or standing or lying down if you're very tired that I suppose expresses our wish to be awake as best we can, awake to ourselves, awake to the world. This doesn't mean blocking things out. On some level, it can mean narrowing our focus and then allowing the focus more spaciousness. Because we can't block out pain. Look at what's happening in America. Discrimination, inequality is also present here in Ireland, in our own lives. It's not possible to block this out, and we don't want to. We want to be sensitive to not just our own struggles and suffering, but other people's as well. Touching others and being touched by others. So taking our seat, taking your place in the family of things. Maybe we'll start with being aware of sounds. It's quite easy to be present with sounds. As sounds are, we don't think about future sounds or past sounds generally. Being open to and receptive to the flow of sounds. The mind will go off, maybe thinking about the sounds. Again, when we notice that, that means that we're actually not present. We're thinking about. It's very interesting. This happens so quickly and so automatically. It's not our fault. Awareness of sounds coming, being noticed until more sounds arrive. And the wonderful thing is we don't have to search. More of a sitting back and allowing the sounds to be noticed, maybe even to be felt. Maybe to the silence between sounds. this flow of sounds that you can't hold on to, grab, cling to. Perhaps noticing this tendency to want certain sounds and not want others. This possibility of just sitting, receptive to this whole variety of sounds. Some will be experienced as pleasant, and some will be maybe experienced as unpleasant. In this moment, we can't really improve or push away sounds. This experiment with allowing the flow of sounds to be noticed, to be experienced. You might even notice some tension in the body as you experience a sound that is unpleasant in your perception. It's very interesting to notice this mind body. And then maybe allowing sounds to sort of move to the wings of the stage and bringing the same attitude towards thoughts. This similar flow of thoughts that comes. We don't always ask for them or want them. Sense this sitting back, allowing this flow to be seen and known. We might even sense a little spaciousness between us and our thoughts. So instead of, you might say, identifying with my anxious thoughts, my self-critical thoughts, my depressive thoughts, exploring this possibility of sitting back and allowing this stream of thoughts to come and go, not necessarily fighting with the thoughts, but the sense of allowing, being receptive. Just like with sounds. And maybe using the body as an anchor as we get lost in the thinking, carried away. And we wake up and notice what's happening, and we can sit again. And begin again. So understanding and so forgiving and so generous. Beginning again. Being here, awake as best we can, aware. Aware of the body, aware of thoughts coming and going. And as best we can, allowing our experience to flow as it does, as all experience change. Of course, the mind will go to the future, and the past, or just this self-monitoring. We judge, we compare. It's just how the human brain is constructed. So for the next 5 minutes, committing ourselves as best we can to practice. As John Kabat-Zinn says, as if this was our last breath. As if our life depended on it. And so moving now, if you like, to sensing the body. The body that supports the mind and heart. This body being supported by the chair, the floor, the earth. Perhaps we don't have to hold ourselves so tight. And if it's helpful, you can always put a hand on the abdomen or the chest to connect with this living, breathing body that so often we're barely aware it exists. In this moment, nothing else to do, nothing to be. Nothing to be. And as we practice and pause like this and sort of settle somewhat, they say like settling when the sea is really choppy and there's lots of waves and sand blowing around, you can't see anything. But when the pond or the lake or the sea is quieter, there's more visibility. And so as we practice quietening the mind, there is a chance that we do become more aware of our reactions, our biases, our prejudices. Become more aware of our need for connection. maybe more aware of how good it feels to be generous. Maybe more aware of when to speak and when not to speak. And just as we are touched by others, so we touch the world. And so perhaps bringing to mind what or how you would like to touch the world tomorrow. What qualities would you like to bring with you into your kitchen, into the workplace, into your Zoom meetings? One of the translations of meditation is to develop, to cultivate. That's the closer translation then to meditate on, to develop something, to cultivate attitudes and qualities that are wholesome. And as we come to the end, just maybe identifying a quality that, thinking on this quality, you might like to bring in with you tomorrow to people you're speaking to or meeting, or towards yourself. That expresses care and courage and kindness. And so opening the eyes and just maybe taking in shapes and colors. Really, when we see something, it's a projection, isn't it? We're projecting out. And so maybe as we end, it might be helpful, interesting just to share in the chat box if you thought of a quality that you've identified that you would like to commit to, maybe to bring with you tomorrow. So it could be, one of mine is patience. It could be a sense of beginning again. I had to do that the other day also with my partner. Let's begin again. Yesterday was yesterday, a difficult day. Let's begin again today. So if anyone would like to put anything in the chat. Okay, so calm, energy, Catherine, connectedness, lovely. Happiness, thank you, Claire. Attention to detail, Deirdre. Trust, lovely. Patience, from Mary. Respond with care and compassion as opposed to reaction and reactivity. Equanimity, So no matter what happens, we can stand steady in the midst of. From Orla, lower expectations, lower self-expectations. Okay, that's, thank you. Thank you very much. So in the East, as you all know, people do this. It's like a hello or a handshake. And I was thinking the other day, this is what we'll be doing shortly, I suppose, when we meet someone. We can't just not do anything. So maybe we can use our hands, but, bow. It becomes a worldwide way of
Absolutely
connecting. It's nice. After a while, it just becomes automatic. So look, very nice to see you all, to connect and to be part of this group. We're supporting ourselves and we support others. So nighty night, everybody. Thanks, Deirdre, for hosting.
Thanks so much.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks.